What's up, Total War is here, fans? We've got a great one today. This is going to be Epirus and Bactria going up against Egypt and I believe, yes, Seleucid. So we can't see the defending forces just yet because it's hitting, which is kind of annoying. But we'll start with Bactria here. He's going to have some hillmen on the outside there, 2 Bactrian royal guard, as well as 2 elite Persian archers. Actually make that 4 elite Persian archers. He's going to have another hillman, thorax swords, hillman, and then another thorax. Then some Bactrian royal guard, some thorax swords. These are some Greek ballista. This is a moving ballista. And then he's going to have 2 thorax pikemen. Those are both going to have a level 2 chevron. And then in the back, he's going to have some Hellenic cataphracts, which is a very expensive cataphract unit. Surprising. That's not something you see too much in siege battles. And he's going to have a Bactrian royal cav for a general. But yeah, you don't see cavalry too much in these siege battles. But that's especially something so heavy, maybe a citizen cavalry or something to defend the archers, but that is like some serious cavalry power. Meanwhile, we're gonna have Epirus for me on the attack with him. I'm going to have four Thurios spears up front here, and yes, I am going as Epirus again. I'm working as the same kind of army composition. I don't know. I don't know what order I'll post these in, but I have another Epirus composition. It's very similar to this. But yeah, then I have 3 mercenary Samnite warriors. Here I got some Thurios spears, some royal peltasts for a general, 2 pikeman units, 2 Agrianians, and 2 mercenary Cretan archers. And then the royal peltasts, 3 royal peltasts there, and then the mercenary Indian war elephants. And then, yeah, the ballista. Which right now is getting destroyed. The wall ballista is having a heyday, but look at this. We got fire coming in from the archers into this, and this is always a bad idea. Just a heads up, never ever do this. Never fire your archers. Okay, flaming arrows, yes, that's a good idea. But firing just regular not flaming arrows into a ballista is never a good idea, because you're never going to hit that team, or very rarely are you going to hit that team. Now I got some fire pouring in, got some thorax here for Egypt, guarding really close up against the walls there, and it looks like the tortoises are about to make contact, so it shouldn't be too long till the walls get down. Those tortoises take them down pretty fast. Unfortunately, we can't see the defending armies, which is really annoying. It's always nice to be able to see and just have that army composition, because we can go over the army composition while they're marching up. But thankfully, we moved pretty fast. We're here already. Look at this. Got some thorax swords taking some fire in the back from over the wall. Already suffered 2 casualties. Another unit here has already suffered 3 casualties. So that archer fire over the wall is working, surprisingly, and it's going into the back of those thorax, so it is going to get a few extras, and that might be why it's being so effective. Here, the Thurios spears breaking down the corner. And here it comes. There we go. They're down. And now we should be able to see the enemy. We got this thorax that was taking fire. We already mentioned that one. And so the Thurios spears are going to go in. And now the thorax have broken down another sector right around this tower. And now archer fire pouring over into another thorax swords. This one's taking 10 losses. So wow, those archers really getting put to use early on. And now a ton of thorax. This one here facing the wrong direction. But I believe, yeah, we got a tortoise coming like right in the back of that. Anyway, got thorax just straight front. That's pretty a basic unit for Egypt, or for a lot of armies. Thorax swords is like the base infantry for most factions. Then we got some Thurios spears backing that one up, and my Thurios spears have gotten inside and are going to start unleashing their javelins while they capture that tower there. And whoa, got some ballista fire coming in there and going to start rendering casualties immediately. That's going to be this moving ballista here. It's going to already be at 9 kills. 13. Wow, it's really climbing fast there. And the Thurios spears now got some thorax swords in support, but really taking a lot of pushback As far as javelin fire, I see a lot of javelin fire coming in. I don't know if that's from these swords units. I don't believe it's from these thorax. I believe it's mostly just from this Thurios spear, which has now got its... Oh, no, it's still thrown. So yeah, the Thurios spear, I believe, is what's getting most of the pushback. You can see one unit is already losing morale from taking that fire. And now we have a... Wow, these guys are taking a ton of casualties, like 30% casualties. These aren't Scorpion Towers. I was going to say Scorpion Towers, that looks like what a Scorpion Tower would do. The Scorpions towers get a lot more kills. But yeah, these Thurios spears, wow. They're getting decimated by that fire from that tower there. Okay, so I think the second Thurios spear's in. This first one's already got 29 kills. The second one's going to start unleashing its javelins into these thorax swords, and the thorax are going to have a hard time holding the walls. This one here, only 11 kills, and it is wavering because of such heavy javelin fire. So far, this tactic is actually working, but whoa. Okay, tortoise glitch problem. That's a problem with these tortoises. It's like sometimes they go wrong. I'd like to see somebody actually squeeze a unit through that. That would just be weird. That would just be odd. Okay, so now these Thurios spears already opening fire now. Before they even get inside the walls. Let's see, we got more Thurios spears and more thorax. Yeah, just 3 more thorax, nothing special. Over here, however, now we can see the enemy has some Nubian bowmen in the back, supported by some Thurios spears and mainly just a ton of thorax swords for both of these factions. It's a lot of Thurios spears and thorax swords, and that's pretty much it for these guys. The hillmen now are going to get in, get their javelin volley off into that thorax swords. This not a royal peltis. This Thurios spear at 21 kills. This one here is 0 as it's just entered. This one 42 after exhausting its javelins and capturing that tower. So now Bactria is in and it's getting its archers put to work. He's got 28 kills and 67 already. His hillman at 0, but it looks like they routed and came out. Okay, so here he's got his Bactrian Royal Guard inside already. That's an elite unit there. This Thorax Sword's already wavering with only 26 kills after taking some heavy archer fire. So early success here for the attackers as this goes on. However, a Thorax Sword got tired of the javelin volleys and is going to just charge in against those Thurios spears to get them to stop. Now, so a Thorax from Bactria is going to engage the front ranks of these Thorax and possibly get some javelin support from another Thurios spear, which is like... Nope, that Thurios spear is out of ammunition. Okay. This one is the one that's firing. 26 kills on that one there. And these two Thorax are getting mauled pretty badly here with support from these Thurios in the back, already at 25 kills and getting teamed up against 2 Thorax against 3 is not going too well for them. So those Thorax swords are in the bad position here. Look at this. A ton of Thurios spears got mowed down right here. Great job by Seleucid to get them out. Wow. 2 kills and 3 kills. And what happened is, I'll explain since I was on the other side of the battlefield. I marched in trying to get my javelin volleys off like I had done over here. And instead of getting them off, I actually... he brought this unit up and started throwing javelins into my back and then charged into hand. I was forced to get out of there, and it did not go well. I suffered heavy casualties, and it just went bad. But this Thorax here got some Thurios spears behind him. I think I went through this gap right here. See where this bush is. I went between the bush and the units right there and got between that. So this Thorax now pinched between a Thorax and a Thurios. Same thing happened over here. However, these Thurios spears are taking fire in the flank from the Nubian bowmen up here who have already racked up 34 kills and continuing to fire. Now we got some Cretan archers moving up, backed by some Thurios spears. And that's going to be a deadly combination once these get up there. And it looks like the archers, whoa, 121. 24 on that unit right there. I assume that's out of it. Yeah, that's out of ammunition. This other one is 72 and still firing. So let's see, it's a 72. And yeah, it's wavering though, so it won't stay in the fight much longer probably. So meanwhile, over here, the defender's doing a good job of holding the attackers at the wall, not letting them get too much ground while these Thurio spears continue to just throw javelins in there and get some kills. 54 on that unit, 21. Got another Thurio spear back here with 2. These are the ones that were mutilated over here. And yeah, they literally got mutilated. And pumping in reinforcements for the defenders here as they are about to lose their first thorax. Now the pikes are going to get into the fight here. And with this much archer ammo, this could be a waste of the pikes. This would be a good time to focus down these Nubian bowmen who already have 135 kills on that unit. This Cretan archer just got into place and is at 63 and climbing fast. Let's see, just let off a volley. It went from 63 to 65. So that wasn't terrible fast there. Here comes another volley, 65. Went to about 71. So yeah, they're getting kill count pretty fast. Got some Thurio spears moving up there that just disappeared. Bactria just getting mauled, trying to get in the walls. The Samnite warriors like, nah, we don't want to engage. They're going to stay back outside at a safe distance. Meanwhile, the ballista has opened fire. It's got 22 kills and climbing as it shoots into the city. Now one thorax on the route with 126 kills on that unit there before it went down, and is going to get reinforced by yet another thorax sword. The Thurio spears behind it at 71 kills. This one over here at 22. However, those units are taking fire in the flank from another Thurio spear. So this is a battle of Thurio spears and thorax. I mean, that's like the only unit in the game, save for some Royal Piltos and a few Samnite warriors. That's like the main 2 units in the game, Thurio spears and thorax. So brutal fight for the walls so far, and the attackers have suffered huge casualties. Bactria's army is really all that's left of it is what's inside the wall, and then just those cavalry units outside. The archers don't really count. Their ballista racked up 36 kills, but it looks like it's out of ammunition, so it didn't get a ton for that expensive unit. Probably would have been better. Oh wait, no, it's got ammunition. Never mind, it's still firing on something. I don't know why it's not got the fire. They must not be firing actively. 32 on that Greek ballista now as it continues to fire in. Now the thorax making progress here for Bactria. They're going to rout an enemy, and they're going to have a gap here to get around. Looks like they're fighting some Thurio spears that aren't even in the fight. The Thurio spears over here, they're stretched long and thin. They're now going to get some or some supporting charge from the Thurio spears, who have a charge bonus of like 28, 21. They have a Thurio spears charge bonus 26 charge bonus, so that's pretty good if you can cycle charge them through your own units once they're out of ammunition. I've always thought of Thurio spears as like useless once they're out of ammo, but I've been actually doing the cycle charge thing, and it's been going really well so far. So I've really enjoyed using Epirus. I've been kind of testing it out because it's a faction I don't use a ton, so I was like, well, I'm going to give it a try. And then I enjoyed this army composition so much, I used it again and again. I have some yeah, I enjoyed it. I got some elephants back here. I don't know if I mentioned those earlier. I don't know why I haven't moved those up. But yeah, I enjoyed the army composition so much. I used it multiple times. And yeah, I enjoyed it. And the Thurio spears surprisingly did pretty good. I've always thought of spear units, as trash. And then the Thurio spears is trash once they were out of ammo. But I've finding this to be contrary now, as I've been able to get hundreds of kills, or at least 100 kills on some Thurio spears, which I thought were just such junk units. I'm seeing more and more why people use them so much. So now we got a Bactrian Royal Guard going to engage that Thurio spear. That Thurio spear, however, is in square formation, so it's going to make it a pain to kill. But this Thurio spear going to squeeze by. Mine going to squeeze by here, maybe try to get at the second one that is firing. But this one's going to... Oh, look at that. Took a javelin volley right in the side. This one's at 108 kills. And now it's going to get mauled. There's a Thurio spear up on the steps here, just firing straight into its back. So it's going to go down with a little more than 100 kills. So about 111. So nothing great on that unit there now. But great use of the defenders by the combined arms of the Thurio spears and the thorax swords to hold it down and really... be effective so far. They've really done some destruction getting in here, as far as holding out. Got some some thorax pikemen routing here with 104 kills on those pikes. So like I said, they may be put into the fight a little too early there, and it was a good time there for for the defenders to mow them down with that archer fire, and they just weren't as effective as they could have been if they would have been held out of the fight. But 108 kills is still pretty good here, and looks like it's going to be enough to maybe take the walls here as the defense is kind of running thin. But it's also closing in. It's kind of in a U pocket formation here. Now is the flank of the attackers is forced to crumble in due to overwhelming push from the enemy. And now more Thurios spears from the defenders moving up to help. These Cretan archers at 111. These Nubian bowmen at 179. Great use of the Nubian bowmen here. They are out of ammunition. Here. But yeah, that's a great way to use that unit. 179 kills on a cheap archer unit. Meanwhile, the Cretan archers have racked up 112 and are still firing. So these guys have really used their archers effectively. Got another Nubian bowman at 168, and these guys still have ammunition. So great use of a cheap unit there to really do some damage. They've really figured out how to use that unit there. Got a Samnite warrior in here somehow. It looks like it came in and maybe went along the side and came out behind those thorax swords. Actually, those are Galatian Royal Guard. That's the elite unit of Egypt. So maybe Egypt's running out of units. It looks like it has another Galatian Royal Guard marching up here. And this is a painful to use their elites so soon in the fight. They're not very far into it. But yeah, this is the most elite unit Egypt can bring to bear as far as sword infantry, and that is painful for the attackers. You can see this one over here is racked up 50 kills, so nothing terribly impressive, though it is surrounded by a Samnite warrior, and it looks like it's going to get charged by another one. I'm going to come in and reinforce it. So these elite units are really helping to hold the walls. So I like the combined arms of the defenders. And over here, kind of a stalemate. Nobody wants to push. Nobody wants to stay. A lot of people want to stay right now. The defenders really not wanting to push anything here. Though maybe if they did collapse in, they could encircle this already desperate pocket formation that the defenders are forming. The Thurios spears in there at 33 kills. This one's at 11. The Samnite warrior at 70, but it got surrounded by that Galatian Royal Guard, which is now losing the fight at only 66 kills. So maybe not the most opportune moment to use those Galatian Royal Guard. Looks like we've got some pikes in there. Yeah, we do have some more thorax pikemen in there at 58, and they are taking a ton of ammunition fire. Maybe not. I don't see a taking fire notice, but I thought I saw a ton pour in there. Now the archers here taking some flaming shot from the elite Persian archers as they were firing. I think that I keep saying archer or something go into those pikes, but I don't see the pikes with under fire. Now another Samnite warrior going to get around here with only 20 kills now as it's unleashed its javelins into the flank of these Galatian Royal Guard, who are chewing through the other Samnite warrior, who has 85 kills but is about to rout. And now the Samnite warrior adjusting to take that on. Now as the pikes push back that thorax sword. Now, yes, the pikes have to be taking ammunition fire. Okay, I'm seeing so much porn. Maybe there's something. The Agrianians at 8 kills and firing. These guys are more like a medium infantry with 4 javelin volleys, or with a large amount of javelin volleys. These guys got 7 ammunition. So they got 7 volleys of javelins, and they are like really, really deadly if used correctly. Here, a Samnite warrior going to rout 85 kills, so nothing impressive on that Samnite warrior, probably mostly wasted. These Samnite warriors here, 21 kills, and they have a flanking move on those Galatian Royal Guard there, pinching them. Meanwhile, the Cretan archers outside the wall firing in. Now look what we've got here. We've got a Samnite warrior here moving up, and it's going to take a ton of fire there from the thorax swords. And good discipline by the Seleucid player not to rush these in and keep these guarding the second, or this hole that nobody was really paying attention to. Also got some 3 Royal Peltas out here. that could come into play, taking that and encircling this defense. Here the archers, it's 7 kills, so they're doing decent. They're not racking up a ton of kills, but they're doing okay. Those Samnite warriors are going to do okay against that javelin fire, surprisingly. They're not going to take a ton of losses, only about 10 for the 2 units of javelins. Oh, nope, this one's still got a volley. Okay, so they're going to throw their javelins. They're going to get a couple kills, and now a thorax is going to charge, or just readjust to throw their javelins. So about 10 losses. They're going to get some kills from theirs. Now the Royal Peltas are in the fight and could encircle these defenders here, who now can't even reinforce this unless it comes from here up these steps where all these archers are. And speaking of the archers, 53 on those mercenary Cretans. These Syrian heavy archers with 0 so far clearly have not opened up, because this is a very dangerous archer unit, and it will really rack up some kills once it's unleashed. And it looks like it's going to be the way they're positioned. It looks like they're going to be unleashing down on these Royal Peltas, who are now firing into the pikes, maybe, or yeah, the pikes aren't taking losses. They're undertaking fire, but mainly the thorax swords, it looks like, are going to be the ones. Now these Royal Peltas going to turn towards the archers, so they have their shields up in case of some sort of fire from that up. And look, here it comes, all that archer fire. And now the javelins, oh, it's going to go into back here. The Royal Peltas going to take that one, and that is brutal. But these Royal Peltas going to start firing their javelins up, it looks like, at the archers, which is not a good idea at all. Okay, there they're going to stop. I think I saw it and locked them into melee, or I changed it up so that they wouldn't do that. Now these Royal Peltas have gained the or changed it as they flanked the remaining defenders and took that out with 24 kills. These Samnites at 40, the Agrianians at 52 and still firing, and that's what makes the Agrianians so deadly. They might not get quite as many kills as say the Cretan archers. They're not going to get like hundreds and hundreds of kills with their javelin volleys, but once they're done, they fight like a Celtic warrior. Or sometimes even better, because they can take more ammunition fire, and it's really helpful. The pikes here for Epirus are moving up. It looks like they got some rear support from the Bactrian Royal Guard. They're trying to get through the Bactrian Royal Guard, but the Bactrians aren't paying attention, so it's going to be like pushing through there, but it's through an ally, so it doesn't count as push through. They're going to charge up against those Thurios spears and thorax swords. And pike's not an offensive move, not a very offensive unit, but they can be used quite effectively if used correctly. They can get tons of kills on the offensive. But yeah, this is... It looks like they're going to stop and just sit and take fire from the towers. Sounds like something I would do. Just stop my unit 4 inches from the enemy, right inside the range of the towers, so that I can just sit and get my units mutilated. Here the Royal Peltas at 60 kills, the Agrianians at 77 and out of ammunition. Now they're going to pull out an axe. They're going to have some high armor piercing. I don't know what do these guys run for armor piercing. Armor attack, melee attack right here. No, it's not there. Where is it? Weapon damage right here. Split between... They have an armor piercing damage of 10. So that's pretty good there. They can do some good armor piercing, which puts them up against some of the higher tank ranking units, the more heavily armored. This Royal Peltas here, mutilated by archer fire, 41 kills. But it only has 45 men left after brutal archer fire from up above. But it looks like some thorax got engaged here and took some fire. Now we got Cretan archers. They're 46 kills, but they're taking a ton of fire now from these Syrians, who are dominating with 71 and 67 kills. So the defenders playing this one really well with those archers, really racking up the kills with the archer. Now the pike's going to advance. They're going to have 54 kills so far, but now they're going to start taking fire. I believe it's clear from this Thurios. No, it's from this heavy Syrian archer. It's going to have 1 kill, but it's going to continue to fire into the flank of those pikes. Well, not, I guess, into the flank. It looked like they were turned more when I turned, but they're going to fire into the front of those pikes, and the pikes are horrible against archer fire, and they're just going to go down in droves under that fire, and that's going to be painful for that unit, who doesn't want to have to suffer that. These roll peltas at 60. Meanwhile, the Thurio spears here at 79, engaging against some elite Persian archers who are winning, surprisingly. There's also some pikemen in there, with the Nubian bowmen, who are 209 kills and climbing. Wow, 210, and they're still fighting. They could go on for quite a while. These archers, the Cretan archers, are out of ammunition at 165. And then back here, got another Cretan archer at 128 and still firing. So these Cretan archers are really doing good, or the archers in general for the defenders are really doing good. And here we got some fire coming in from the Thurio spears now into those pikes, who are going to go down with 92 kills. They're going to rout now after taking extreme fire and from those Thurio spears and the Syrian heavy archers, who are 84 now. 84 kills after engaging those pikemen. And the Thurio spears at 48. So damage really being dealt by the defenders, and now kind of a stalemate going on here for the walls, while the defenders the attackers just sit here and take a bunch of archer fire. That's literally all we're doing. We're just standing there and letting them shoot us up with their archers. This Cretan archer outside the wall is 46 kills. This one here at 67, and this one here, Agrianian, at only 1. And that appears to be the one right there. Actually, that's an ally. I think that's a Bactrian Hillman, so no, that's not the one. He must have died by some sort of like tower fire when he was marching the tortoises up. Okay, over here the engagement is going south now for the defenders, or for the attackers now, as the Thorax just got charged by a Thurio spear, numerically superior, and the Thurio spears are going to cut down to that Thorax and then possibly even flank that Bactrian roll guard if the Bactrians don't cut through that Thorax fast enough. They could get flanked by this Thurio spear if this Thorax doesn't hold long enough. The elite Persian archers, they're only at 79 kills, forced into hand-to-hand. These pikemen at 92 rallied and are back in the fight. We got a Royal Peltas at 15 out here, as well as the elephants. So the elephants could be dangerous if used correctly. These guys can get hundreds of kills, and that can really turn the tide. But as of right now, the balance power bar is looking pretty even to my eye. But yeah, there's still a lot of guys left, surprisingly. I mean, the defenders, mainly it's Seleucid with remaining units. There's a few Egyptians scattered here and there. There's a Royal Thorax and a Pikeman and a Pike, and then a Cretan archer, some Thorax, and some Nubian bowmen. But mainly this is going to be Seleucid here. The main defender is going to be Seleucid here. And so, yeah, right now. Okay, so we got some hillmen that moved up. And just holding this tower so nobody takes it. The Royal Peltas at 41 kills, but are really shot up from these Syrian archers, who are now taking fire from that archer tower. So if these guys aren't paying attention, if they don't move these guys, I mean, they're already down to 98 men left. That's painful because those are free kills coming from that arrow tower. That's why I like controlling the arrow towers as soon as you can, because that's totally free kills, and it's firing as well into this Thorax swords. So it's really making its presence known by taking out some archers there, down to 93 already, and working down on those Thorax swords. But the pikemen will be tough to beat there if they're in this enclosed area. They get into a choke point and you can't surround them. Those pikemen will be very hard to beat. Here the Thurio spear is going to get charged by Bactrian Royal Guard. These guys got level 1 chevrons. This one here is already 132 kills. The other one, 119. And they will beat that Thurio spear, although it will take them quite a while because they're both spear units. And second of all, because that Thurio spear is in square formation, and that makes it a really big pain to kill. Here these pikemen have moved up and are just like holding that, I guess. I mean, here the Thorax swords holding at 43 kills against those Thurio spears, and then the Bactrian Royal Guard is just falling back. Here the cataphracts, the Hellenic cataphracts, at 49 kills, but they have suffered casualties of 1. They suffered 1 casualty for 49 kills. That shows you how good this unit is. And that one kill was probably from like arrow fire or from the tower from him moving up, if I had to guess, because that's a very tough unit. Back here, meanwhile, we got some Nubian bowmen that just disappeared back there. Here we got 151 on the Syrian heavies as they continue to fire, and that went from 151 now. After that volley, it's going to go to 151. It didn't change. They must have got no kills on that volley. Okay, now they are out of ammunition here. And so that unit's pretty useless now. Here we got another Syrian heavy archer at 19 kills. Okay, firing. Wow, 19 kills after that volley. 21. So yeah, they're doing pretty good. That wasn't a full volley. These guys, I think he might just be... No. Yeah, these guys are out of ammunition. He's going to charge them into hand-to-hand, it appears. And now these cataphracts making their presence felt. 3 losses, 68 kills. Those cataphracts are extremely dangerous. Now the Agrianians getting in on the fight, 78 kills and climbing. However, look at this Bactrian Royal Guard is going to go down at 197 kills after that Thorax Swords defeated it. Or Thorax Swords. The Thurios Spears defeated it, and it took some javelin fire here from this Thurios Spear, who is now at 89 kills and defending the steps. Now it's going to charge down and aid its allies down there. Not a bad idea. However, the defeat of that Bactrian Royal Guard really puts Bactria out of the fight as far as a major player with infantry. He's still got this cavalry, which is very, very deadly if held on to and will work wonderful. But it looks like it's kind of up to me now to fight this one out. And now the Thorax is going to come and push my Royal Peltas out. So I cannot hold this. That I cannot hold this tower. They are like, shoot, we don't want these free kills anymore. Get him out of here. But it doesn't look like they're going to contest it. They're just going to neutralize the tower for now. Looks like they're bringing up pikes. They're moving their pikes out, not bringing them up. Okay, so I'm going to charge them with the Royal Peltas. Probably not my best idea ever. These Ballista team now with 193 kills. The Giant Ballista did a good job there, racking up the kill count and really helping inside the walls. How many of those are friendly fire or killed friendly casualties? Who knows? So far so good. But now look at this. We got some Bactrian Royal Cav. I believe that's the Bactrian Royal Cav. Yes, the Bactrian Royal Cav going to go around, maybe try to encircle this Thorax, who is actually losing to the Royal Peltas. The 38 Royal Peltas are beating 107 Thorax Swords. Now the Thorax Swords have stabilized that one. They're winning now. That's more like it. The Thorax Swords are by far better. They were losing because the use of the whip was on for the Royal Peltas, but now they're going to want to get out of there. The Royal Peltas are getting reinforced by another huge unit, a 114 Royal Peltas. So you're going to want to get that Thorax out of there because it is not going to like that. Here comes the Bactrian Royal Cav right into a Royal Thorax Swords that is waiting for it. No, it's going to see that and turn at the last second and try to get out of there maybe. Now it's going to halt. Now it's going to get countercharged. And now they're going to die. No, that unit should do okay. The fact that it got charged while it was stationary is not going to help it any. And that Royal Thorax will probably beat it, but it's going to take them a little while. That Bactrian Royal Cav is very difficult to take out. And now this Thorax Sword getting crushed here by that Royal Peltas, and that's the way it should go. Now, some Syrian heavy archers getting fire in on the Bactrian Royal Cavalry, who has 0 kills for like 50% losses. So they are really struggling. They're trying to pull out now. They're going to get out, but they're going to lose like half their unit for 0 kills. So sorry to the Bactrian Royal Cav. We sorry that you didn't do any better. We sorry that you're so bad. Okay, so over here the Royal Peltas doing what the Royal Peltas do, and that's cutting through Thorax Swords. They have 171 kills and still going strong. Only still 144 men left, and they're going to cut through that Royal that thorax sword. Then over here, the Bactrian cav, or the Hellenic cataphracts, have gotten around and charged the Thurios spear. These guys have 110 kills and still have over half their unit. If they could double that, that would be amazing. Now the mercenary Samnite warriors are going to pull out there at 95 kills, and the Agrianians are going to be left alone. Well, I guess they got some help here from the Bactrian Royal Guard. They're fighting a Thurios spear who is actually winning, surprisingly here. Now the Thorax, the Royal Thorax, going to get in on these Royal Peltas who have 66 kills, 69 kills. So these units have not been used effectively. These guys have really been just trashed by this archer fire. Yeah, and now this archer fire here at 116. Yeah, that unit is going to get run over pretty quick with only 74 kills. That unit with only 35 men left is going to hang on now. It's got used the whip, which is going to make it last quite a bit longer. It looks like we got some pull through here, though, from the Royal Thorax that surrounded it. So that's going to make it even harder for that unit to last. Looks like it's going to get some help from the mercenary Samnite warriors, though, which will make it much better, and maybe even be able to get that unit out of there. Now the Cretan archers at 132 kills, still firing now. And the pikes back in the fight. We also have another Agrianian axeman now is in the fight as well. And the thorax, oh boy, what do we got back here? Hellenic cataphracts, a second Hellenic cataphract in the unit in the game. This is going to be Seleucids instead of Bactrias this time, however. And these Hellenic cataphracts have 0 and are active. So they've been moving around apparently. Yeah, that's going to be a dangerous unit if used really effectively. The mercenary Indian war elephants at 4 kills for a loss of an elephant, from the loss of nothing. But yeah, that's not ideal. You should get more than 4 kills on your units there. The Royal Peltas at 253 kills. This unit's definitely going to make up for the other 2 that died over here. With like 4 kills apiece. The mercenary Samnites at 113, going strong against a Thorax and a Royal Thorax. Surprisingly, those Samnites are really doing good. The Agrianians, I assume, still have ammunition, but they're not using it. And it might be effective to bring it over here and use it against these Royal Thorax. Because that is the general. Not only is that the general, that's also a pretty good unit that you would be using your ammunition on. Here, the archers, the Hellenic cataphracts running from the archers. 180 kills on those Hellenic cataphracts who are doing amazing. Meanwhile, the mercenary Indian war elephant's going to take over and get rid of the archers. The archers don't have a bonus versus large, but they are going to get mauled by those elephants. Those elephants are just going to cut right through those archers. So, sorry, archers, you're just not good enough. The Royal Peltas at 276, and now got some pikes in the back there, and those are another unit that's going to have to be dealt with later in the fight. And if it gets put in a choke point, it's going to be tough. And this is close battle. I'm looking now. I'm saying the balance of power bar is still pretty even. Here we got the Bactrian Royal Cav at 25 kills. The poor Bactrian Royal Cav didn't stand much of a chance. Here the elephants now at 41 kills after killing all those archers, or most of the archers. And they've also got some help from those Hellenic cataphracts who are now at 223 kills. So the Hellenic cataphracts really being difference makers in this game. 65 on the Agrianians now, and just like that, they went from 1 kill to 65. Just while I was over there talking about what the Hellenic cataphracts were doing. 33 on that Bactrian Royal Cav. It's about to rout there. The Samnites now at 70 men left. They have 149 kills, and they are surprisingly winning against those Royal Thorax with no aid. They're not getting any sort of archer help or anything. They're going to surprisingly do really well. I would have imagined that the Royal Thorax would make quick work of that Samnite warrior. But the Samnite warrior also has a level 1 chevron. That's part of it that's helping him. Now we got another Royal Peltas coming up to help in that fight. Okay, over here the elephants mopping up the remainders, going over to 100 and some kills for no losses. So far so good on those units. The Royal Peltas at 319 kills. but got to face the pikes at the end of the alley here, and they're not going to want to fight that as well as they're taking a fire from the arrow towers. They're going to want to get out of there as they only have 44 men left, but for 321 kills, they have earned their right in the Hall of Legends. Here are the Hellenic Cataphracts at 236 kills. These Hellenic Cataphracts are extremely dangerous. And here comes the enemy's Hellenic Cataphracts. These guys get 0 kills, but it doesn't look as though they maybe even used them. They must have turned them around the last second. Here the Silver Shield Swords are going to get in there, countercharge those Royal Pilthos, which have cycled with the Samnites, which I believe are dead. Samnites just disappeared. So the Samnites are out of the fight, it appears. And now it's going to be these Royal Pilthos. There's some Cretan archers here at 163. I assume these guys are out of ammunition. Meanwhile, over here got some Syrian heavies at 23 kills. These guys are still going. I mean, the effective use of the archers by the defenders in this round has been amazing. Now, it might be worthwhile, just a quick mention for the Hellenic Cataphracts to come outside, around and in here, in the back, right next to this tower. They could get against this Agrianian. There's a depleted Royal Pilthos. There's some free kills over here in the form of the mercenary Cretan archers. They might get stopped by the elephants, however. I guess they got a shot at the general. Here now the pikes are going to be on their own. Going to take a ton of fire there from out of nowhere. Poor pikemen. Ouch. Taking fire from the back. Now the whole army going to move around. This thorax sword's getting cut down by the combined might of the Agrianians and the Royal Pilthos, who are now at 333 kills, and they are really doing good. They're also getting some help from the Bactrian Royal Guard. Here the elephants are now moving in, and looks like they're going to just sit inside. They're at 140 kills. So now my unit of Royal Pilthos is going to come up through the steps here. And now the Indian elephants are going to charge, it looks like, right into that Silver Shield Thorax. And there they go. The enemy's going to go into Shield Wall, at least the Royal Thorax. Okay, they're going to go into Shield Wall, and that's going to render these elephants pretty much useless. But it didn't look like they hit the button in time, and they're going to take a ton of casualties, surprisingly. Despite going into Shield Wall, they just didn't hit it quite in time. They also have that trample ability or stampede ability, so the elephants are really going to do good on this one. At 170 kills now, but now taking archer fire. I mean, these guys have an unending supply of archers. These Syrian heavies at 32 kills, and going against those Indian war elephants who have 22 men left. That means they've lost 2 elephants. Wow. Now they're starting to lose men, and they're going to have to be pulled out before they go berserk. They have 100, 200, 120. Wow. 122. 222, sorry, not 122, 222. The mercenary Indian war elephants are just rampaging. They're about to take out a Silver Shield Swords, which is an expensive unit, as well as a Royal Thorax, but they are going to lose the unit, it appears. They have gone berserk at 232 kills, and that's probably going to be the end of it, is now they are going to charge back and get a ton of archer fire taken down. They're going to get taken down by that archer fire. They got 3 men left. Or 3 elephants left, not 3 men, 6 men. There's 2 men to an elephant, and they're going to turn and charge back into those enemy units. So far, no allied casualties. Friendly fire. They're not charging into their own men, which is always good. You always want them to not start going stampeding in your own ranks. Looks like they might get rid of the Royal Thorax General for Egypt as they go berserk and are continuing with 3 elephants. Surprisingly, these last 3 will not go down. Their 1 went down. It's down to the last 2, who are now just 1, and that he's gonna have a ton of hit point. He's at 300 some kills. Now we can't scan them because we can't see how many kills they have. But wow, these Thorax and Royal Thorax are decimated by that. Good job by the elephants there. Really did that right. Okay, the general for my army is marching around. I guess he's making. I think I was making sure there was no enemy up here, like gonna come down behind me. Then I'm gonna move my pikes up, and they're gonna get shredded by that archer fire. I don't know why I moved my pikes up. Okay, so we got some Hellenic cataphracts there at 252 kills, as well as some Bactrian roll guard at 192, and then Greek ballista at 48. The Greek ballista was a little disappointing there so far. Unless those like 5 men in the unit, 11 men left in the unit can get like 100 kills, then that ballista was probably a waste of money. Meanwhile, the Cretan archers have no ammunition. And the Agrianians do have ammunition. They're at 69 kills, however, so they're going to be stretched thin on how much ammunition they have. And this is going to be a strong defense here for the defenders. I mean, look at this. 2 pikemen, which are really good. They also have the Syrian heavies at 52 only. So these guys are going to have a ton of ammunition left, probably. Then the Silver Shield Thorax and a Hellenic Cataphract. So these guys are going to be like really good here. Got the pikes there moving up, gonna take the tower, and when he sees that I take the tower, it's gonna start firing on those pikes, which is gonna be really helpful. And let's see, it's gonna be a stalemate probably. He's just gonna like stare each other. Let's speed this up a little bit because we're just staring each other down right now, and I think it goes on for, if I remember right, it goes on for a little while. Now we're getting some tower fire from the arrow tower there into those pikes, which is good because that's going to start mowing them down. And we need the least amount of pikes on the enemy side, the better. And they're going to just continue. Going to get some fire maybe. Did I see some javelin fire from the Royal Peltasts? Maybe. Because the pikemen are going down to that arrow tower. So, poor pikes. Okay, so the Agrianians have moved up. They're going to get a volley off, possibly even into the back of this unit. It's going to move back a little bit, now turn around when it sees that we've moved up. And now we're going to get 1 volley from the 2 volleys from the Agrianians as they continue to charge into those pikes, or continue to throw into them pikes. However, they are now out of ammunition, and they're going to go down with only 79 kills. A little disappointing there. Now, the enemy's going to pull back to an even tighter choke point where it'll only take 1 pike unit to hold it. And they're going to go into a box, so they're going to have me flanked by pikes. No, they're just going to strengthen just a little bit wider so they can get both their pike units in there. And now the enemy's going to hold me back with swords so I can't hit the pikes while they're moving. Slow this down again. So I can't hit the pikes while they're moving. And that's it for those 2 units of Silver Shields and then the Egyptian General. So I'll speed this up a little bit more because it's just me wrapping them up. And now I'm in the range of their arrow tower. I wish you could see how many kills the arrow towers had, because I bet it's like hundreds. Especially this one, because most of the fighting was right down here where these Cretan archers are, and this is like right in the range, and we held this, so this would have been a ton of kills. I wish we could see how many enemies it killed. But yeah, here the Royal Peltas is gonna squeeze by the pikes, and do not worry, I did not push through. So no, that's not what happened. I didn't push through them. I was trying to get behind. Now I'm gonna attack those pikes from the front, but they're gonna turn around and face me, so I'm gonna charge them again with another Peltas unit that I have. They're going to turn to face it, and then I'm going to charge it in the back and charge it while it's up with the pikes up. That way I can get into hand-to-hand. While they're trying to move around there, they're going to get charged in the back, and those pikes are not going to like that there. And now I got a that's another pike unit charging in, and now these pikemen are losing because they're pinched between a Royal Peltas and a Royal Peltas. But yeah, that now a good move by Seleucid here to move his archers up, and they're going to start firing into the back of my Royal Peltas general. And he's not going to like that. He's at 161 kills and winning against those pikemen who have now exited the phalanx. Now they're going to re-enter it. And those Agrianians, poor Agrianians, as they charge just like so dutifully They're just following orders. Now the Royal Peltas are going to get surrounded by a Silver Shield Swords, and that's going to be painful. They're going to go down 184 kills there so far, and that Silver Shield Sword is going to stop and possibly just throw its javelins into the back of the Royal Peltas. The Royal Peltas is going to use the whip as well as rally and raise the banner, and then it's going to charge into those Silver Shield Swords, and the pikemen there are struggling. Here we got a pikeman and a pikeman here fighting just like right up at that corner, and they're slowly closing in, and it looks like the Seleucidian pikes are going to lose that until they get reinforced. And now I'm just going to charge all in here against those pikes while they're up and maybe get in and get rid of it. And then over here, my use the whip has worn off, and the Royal Peltas at 200 kills are slowly getting ground out by that Silver Shield Sword, as well as taking fire from the Syrian heavies. Actually, they might be out of ammunition. They are out of ammunition, so these Syrian heavy archers, 87 kills, are going to be out. And this pike unit is on the route, is facing the wrong direction. Yes, wonderful. Now I can get rid of it. And that's going to have 59 kills and start dying. There, my general is gone. And my pike unit, my second pike unit, is moving up to kind of guard this hole here. And yeah, the balance power bar has been turned majorly against us. Looks like we got some Hellenic Cataphracts now with 14 kills. Going to come around and probably mop me up. So the pikemen are going to hold on, surprisingly. They've got red morale. They were wavering there for a minute. And now, yeah, they went out of the game. Okay, but it's going to get closed off by a Silver Shield Sword and another pike unit. So I'm saying this one's pretty much over. Going to charge a Cretan archer. Mercenary Cretan archer, 167 kills. It's going to go after those Syrians just to get them out and away, get a few extra kills. But look at this. Here comes a Hellenic Cataphract, and it's going to be free kills for the Hellenic Cataphracts as they come around the corner. And the pikes, I don't know. I think they'll waver from army losses, and that should be it. Army losses should take over pretty quick and end it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, wavering army losses. So, gonna slowly come down. There went the Agrianians. There went the pikemen. And, yep, that's it. So, it was a valiant defeat here as Ace, Patrique, is going to be Bactria. And he's going to have 2,124 kills. Great job on his Hellenic Cataphracts. His Ballista and his General were a little disappointing, but the circumstances weren't great for the General, at least. The Ballista, I don't know what happened to the Ballista that it got so few. But then the Elite Persian Archers did good. The Hillman, for a Hillman unit, 74 kills is really good on this one here. The other two did about what a Hillman would do. The Bactrian Royal Guard did great. I mean, they were really racking up the kills. Here, the Pikes, same thing, did good. And then the Thorax are all around good. Total Wars here, 2,298 kills. On my 203 on my Royal Peltas General, 122 and 109 on the Agrianians, 309 on the Elephants, 193 on the Ballista. So good job by this top row. These Cretan Archers at 69, kind of disappointing there. The Samnites did decent. The 85 and 38 is not great. I didn't use those correctly. These two Pikes I also didn't use right. They were not great. And then 357 on that Royal Peltas. It really was doing good, as well as these two Royal Peltas did great. The Thurio Spears, 111 is being the best, 3 the worst. So the the Thurio Spears weren't the best. And so good job by the defenders here. This is going to be Rob in Cheos, 29 and 2321 or 2,321, not 23,000 kills, and he's gonna have 181 on his general. Good job by all the archers of the defenders. I mean, these guys did amazing. The Galatian Royal Guard was a little disappointing, 124 being okay for that unit, but 89 very disappointing, but it was enough to pull off a win. And now the Thorax Swords did good, Pikemen good, and then the Thurio Spears did amazing. EC Samuel is going to have and 22 kills. Sorry, I was reading deployed there for a minute. He's going to have a great job by all his archers. His Thurio spears did good. His thorax did good. His army all around did good. Both defenders did amazing all the way around. I mean, they were doing a great. So, yeah, good job to everybody involved. Thanks for playing. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and yeah.